of Fox Sports.
We are Blackmore. We are Minnesota.
Twins fans filling Target Field, hoping that this will be the series that will get this disappointing season turned around. In the American League Central, the Twins, 16 wins, 32 losses. And as you look at the American League West, the importance in this year of parity of simply playing 500 baseball. The Angels are doing that, and they're just one game behind the first-place Texas Rangers. And it's a cloudy, cool night for baseball. Dick Bramer along with the Hall of Famer Bert Blyleven, and the Twins and their fans do hope that this will be the series that will get this season turned around, starting with Scott Baker on the mound.
Yeah, usually what helps get things turned around is good starting pitching. Well, Scott Baker for a while there in the middle of April, first start in May, was pitching very well. 2-0, very good earned run average. His last three starts, not so good. ERA over 7. Why? A lot of pitches left up in the strike zone. Baker needs to keep the ball down. When he leaves it up, well, bad things happen. Jack Cust right there caught up to a high fastball. Adam Kennedy, another fastball about bell tie. Got to keep the ball down. With the fastball down comes a better breaking ball and a better changeup. Well, Baker hopefully will have a good start here tonight against the Angels.
Probably a good idea for Scott Baker to keep the ball down against Torrey Hunter, because Torrey, overall numbers this year aren't that great, but he's one of their hottest hitters.
Well, I'll tell you what, for 11 seasons, Torrey Hunter wore a Twins uniform. Now he's the opponent, and he's been swinging a bat pretty well. He leads the Angels with 27 runs driven in. And we all know Torrey Hunter, he's a class act, and he's hitting right in that 4 spot for the Anaheim Angels, or Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, whatever they're calling themselves.
Cucamonga right now.
But Torrey Hunter, he's a good one.
And the Twins hope to get this season going here with a series win against the Angels. When we come back, we'll reflect on a very special night here at Target Field. Baseball on Fox Sports North is brought to you by Northland Ford. Visit your local Northland Ford dealer or go to northlandford.com. By Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. And by a reminder from Budweiser, great times are waiting. Designate a driver.
The Twins open Memorial Weekend with a 3-game series against the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Last night, the Twins were well represented, even on an off night here at Target Field, as we remembered the life of Harmon Killebrew with a memorial and a tribute. The event was open to Twins fans as well, and it was a way for so many people to say goodbye and to honor a fantastic baseball player and a phenomenal human being. There were VIPs everywhere. Hank Aaron was here, former teammates like Mudcat Grant, Michael Cuddyer, Justin Morneau, there's Jim Thome posing with Hank Aaron there. We've heard so many stories about Harmon Killebrew over the past week and a half, on the field and off the field. One of the more memorable has been about the 520-foot blast that Harmon hit on June 3rd, 1967, the longest home run ever hit at Met Stadium. Well, what would that home run look like here? Check this out. 520 feet away from home plate at Target Field, there is Jim Thome. That's where he sat last night for a few minutes in the corner of the bleachers holding up a Harmon Killebrew jersey to show you where that home run would land if it was hit here at Target Field. Gives you perspective, shows you why people still talk about that homer. Coming up, Scott Baker will get the ball for the Twins against the Angels as we bring you Game 1 next.
Weekend marks the unofficial start to summer in Minnesota. If the Twins have any hope of making it a summer to remember, they'll need to heat up in a hurry. Hopes are still high in Twins territory, and tonight the Twins look to finally get things headed in the right direction against the Angels. And the Twins taking the field for this series opener. Last year, the Twins opened against the Angels in Anaheim. They won that series. They won the next 5 series after that. And in essence, that's what the Twins are hoping for, a streak like that. They would like to have but don't need a 15-game winning streak. They just need to start winning series on a regular basis. Here's the Menards batting order. Mycer Sturris leading off. Eric Ibar hitting second. Bobby Abreu third. Torrey Hunter, their cleanup hitter. He's been swinging a hot bat over the last week. Alberto Callaspo. Russell Branyan just acquired by the Angels. Mark Trumbo, Hank Conger, and Peter Borges.
And Scott Baker on the mound making his 10th start of the year, looking for his third win. He's struggled over his last 3 starts. 12 earned runs over his last 15 and a third innings over his last 3 starts. 17 hits, 10 walks. He has been picking up strikeouts, 21 strikeouts in those 3 starts, and only making his 3rd start here at home. One thing, the Twins have not had a lot of success at home, but they haven't played here a lot.
Right.
Baker last year, 8 wins and 3 losses here at home compared to 0-2 so far this year.
Fans might be tired of us saying this, but the Twins are playing a team that is also struggling to score runs. And Baker.
Oh, he said it with that ball club that just left, Seattle Mariners.
Seattle Mariners, Oakland A's. I mean,
right.
More often than not, the Twins are struggling offensively. So that would bode well, you would think, for the pitchers. There's a strike, 2-1.
Well, the Twins had good success against the Angels last year. They were 5-2 in the 7 meetings. And Baker, he's had some good games against the Angels, but he's 1-5 against them. And making just his 3rd start here against the Angels, where he's 1-0. Actually, a start here last year. He pitched outstanding. He and Jarrett Weaver, the starter for tomorrow's ball game, hooked up, and Baker beat him 4-0. That coming on August 22nd of last year. 7 shutout innings for Baker against the Angels.
And last year in Anaheim, Baker was the opening day starter. And the Twins lost that game but won the next 3.
Yeah, you always remember your first major league start. And that for Scott Baker was in Anaheim, and that was against the Angels back in July of 2005. And I mentioned Baker has been picking up some strikeouts, 21 strikeouts over his last 15 and a third innings, and he starts this ball game off with a strikeout.
Crowfoot for defense for your Minnesota Twins. Delvin Young on left, Denard Span in center, Jason Kubel in right. Danny Valencia, Alexi Casilla, Michael Kadire, Justin Morneau around the infield, Drew Butera behind the plate.
Well, that strikeout right there, Dick, by Baker, he had a little giddy up on it, but also had a little movement on it. And that's one thing. Baker goes a 4-seamer and a 2-seamer. And a lot of times that 2-seamer will make you think, okay, for a 2-seamer to work, you have to keep it down. Look at the little movement on that pitch right there. You get it down a little bit more than that, you get ground ball outs.
1-0 to Ibar. Another one wild up and away, 2-0.
I talked to Rick Anderson in Baker's last start in Arizona about Baker constantly up in the strike zone. And he said, Bird, we talk about it every inning. He comes in and he goes, I know what I'm doing wrong. I know what I'm doing wrong. But he's having a tough time going out there and actually getting the ball down. And all 3 pitches so far here to Ibar have been up in the strike zone. And sometimes it just comes down to the simple things. Stay over the pitching rubber a little bit longer. Allow your arm to catch up, because Baker flies open, and then there's his arm. And that's a strike right there, but about belt high.
It's a lot easier to sight in a rifle. You just, turn the screws a few clicks down, and you brought the bullet down. That's
really what you're trying to do. You're trying to get to that balance point, click it, and now explode.
Ball back, 3-2.
When your body is quick, and believe me, I know all about that, because I rushed out there all the time, and I kept telling myself, stay back, stay tall, and then create that good downward plane, because that's where you'll get the better results. If you leave the ball up, and I can attest to that, the ball goes a long way.
3-2. And another strikeout.
Great location right there of both those pitches to Asturis and to Ibar. And a nice comeback for Baker, falling behind 3-0, comes back and picks up another strikeout.
So 2 strikeouts to start the ball game. And Bobby Abreu will come up.
See, Baker, we've seen, Dick, he'll get away with that for the first 4 or 5 innings. And then that 93, 94 mile an hour fastball become 90, 91, and that's where he leaves the ball up and gets hurt.
And we've been saying that for how many years now?
About 6 now.
Abreu takes strike one.
Believe me, he's trying out there. He's trying to get it down, but he wants to stay aggressive too. You don't want to get too lackadaisical to where you start aiming the ball. You want to let it go.
Strike two.
That's a good changeup right there. Well, the veteran Abreu in his 3rd season with the Angels, his 16th major league season. Career .296 hitter.
Fouled back. Getting a chance to play left field tonight is principally the Angels' designated hitter, but he gets a chance to take a glove out with him in the bottom of this inning.
Yeah, Howie Kendrick put on to disable this, so Mike Scioscia having to do some shuffling in the lineup. Now with them going out and getting Russell Branyan, they want a little more power in that lineup, and they hope that Branyan can generate some of that.
There's Branyan. We almost saw him last weekend in Arizona. Was released while we were there. 2 strikes to Bobby Abreu.
Ooh. See, that's a good hitter right there. I mean, that's a pretty good pitch, but he took it. Take a look at the breaking ball right here.
Well, now it's 1-2.
Mike DeMuro behind the plate tonight.
That high fastball gets fouled back.
And that's why I think Baker's pitch count gets up so high, Dick, quickly, because with that high fastball creates a lot of foul ball, swings. I mean, just they're on the ball, but because of that little extra, they foul it off.
Well, Baker will try again on 1-2. Pitch number 19 on the inning. And a great at bat by a veteran hitter. Abreu took a close pitch for ball 1. 3, I believe. 2 strike fouls. He ends up with a single to right.
Kind of shaking that left hand a little bit. Might have stung. Always gets a nice applause, Torrey Hunter. Again, 11 seasons in the Twins uniform.
Even last night when he was on the video board talking about Harmon's influence on him, specifically his autographing, that brilliant smile showed up on the scoreboard, and there was an audible cheering from the fans in attendance here last night. 1-0 to Hunter. Gotten it going a little bit over the last week or so. It's been a slow start for Torrey. And he says he got a little bit of a wake-up call when the Angels were in Seattle, and he cost his team a game by losing a ball in the sun.
Yeah, you imagine that. I mean, how many games has he saved because of his glove? And, he makes one, lost ball in the sun, and he feels bad about it.
There's a call strike, and as we said, I think the next day, what are the chances in the first place of losing a ball in the sun in Seattle?
Especially if the roof was closed.
2-1. And suddenly this first inning getting a little lengthy for Baker. No problems tonight losing a ball in the sun.
Well, he mentioned Torrey Hunter. Over his last 7 ball games, he's hitting .360, 9 hits and 25 at-bats. And against Scott Baker, he's 0 for 7 lifetime. And Baker's been able to strike him out 3 times.
And Abreu 8 for 10 in stolen bases. That's why Baker threw over there. Foul back. Here's what happened at Safeco Field in the day game with the go-ahead run at second in the 9th inning with 2 out.
Yeah, you don't see that too often.
And he said that woke him up a little bit, really got him focused and driven. And as we know as well as anybody else, when Torrey Hunter is focused and driven, the base hit to left.
Do that.
He can carry a ball club. First and second now with a couple of 2-out hits. And that'll bring up Alberto Teoscar.
Yeah, first pitch, that Torrey Hunter's been able to get off of Baker, first hit. And that ball left up about letter high. And a hot hitter. You don't miss those pitches when you're swinging a good bat.
So the Angels haven't scored yet. There's 2 outs, but Baker's pitch counts up to 24, and you go back to that breaking pitch that Abreu took and what that might mean for Baker come the 5th or 6th inning. He's had to throw a whole bunch more pitches now.
I remember in his last start in Arizona, he threw 102 pitches in 5 innings.
Right.
Then went out for the 6th, and the first 2 guys double, and he's out of the ballgame.
Right. Here's Callaspo. There's a strike.
Callaspo in his 2nd season with the Angels, coming over from the Royals last year.
Foul back, 2 strikes. So here's Baker again now with 2 strikes on the batter and 1 good pitch should end the inning. Russell Branyan in the on-deck circle.
See, there have been 8 foul balls already off of Baker in this inning.
At least half of them with 2 out or 2 strikes. Two strikes to Callaspo. Lifted to left. And Delmon Young ends the inning. A couple of 2-out singles do no damage on the scoreboard. On the first inning for Scott Baker. Here's the Menards batting order for the Twins. Denard Span followed by Alexi Casilla. Jason Kubel, Justin Morneau, Michael Cuddyer, Jim Thome the DH, Delmon Young, Danny Valencia, and Drew Butera.
And let's take a look at a scouting report on Tyler Chatwood making his 10th major league start. Young man, just 21 years old. He grew up in the backyard, basically, of the Anaheim Stadium. Big Angel fan. Now he gets a chance to pitch for his hometown team. The biggest thing for Chatwood is that too many walks. 29 walks in 51 innings pitched with 25 strikeouts. And you want to get him early. You want to get him early because he really settles down.
And he's like a lot of 21-year-olds. Much more effective at home than he is on the road. Was that a big deal for you? Because you were pretty young. You were what?
I was pretty good on the road.
Were you really?
Yeah, I liked it.
You wanted to eat the.
I was single then.
Well, I'm talking about on-field performance
you mean
here.
Pitching?
Yes.
You know what? I think the first time you're at a ballpark, it takes a while to get accustomed to the mound, the bullpen area. So, yeah, I mean, you feel a little more comfortable at home because your surroundings are.
And you got people cheering for you. He's 21 years old, and he's got people cheering for him at home. 2-1.
Well, Chatwood at 6 foot tall, about 185. A lot of scouts compare this young man to Oswalt.
Oswalt.
Yeah. Roy Oswalt. Yep.
And they call that a check swing strike. 2-2 to Span.
Supposed to have a very good curveball, fastball. I think the 29 walk says he's kind of all over the place, but his strikeout pitch is the curveball along with a changeup.
Span trying to slow him down a little bit. Seems to want to work fast. Up and in, full count. Span, Casilla, and Kubel here in the first.
And this is a good at-bat right here for Denard Span. Make the young man throw some pitches so everybody else in the lineup can see what he features.
A little bit high, and so with some high fastballs, Chatwood walks Span here in the first inning. Oakland Ford defense for the Angels. Pretty good outfit, especially with speedy Peter Borges in the center field spot. Previously held by Hunter, Abreu in left. Iasmo, Ibar, Izturis, and Trumbo, the infielders, and Conger behind plate.
There's Mike Scioscia, won his 1,000th game as a manager. He's only managed the Angels, and over 1,000 wins in an Angel uniform.
We have the two most tenured managers in the American League. Scioscia took his job with the Angels a couple years ago before Ron Gardenhire took his with the Twins. The winning percentages are almost identical. Perennial postseason contenders. There's a called strike 1-1. The difference, of course, in 2002, the Angels ran the table and won the World Series.
Yeah, Mike Scioscia in his 12th season as manager of the Angels, a two-time American League Manager of the Year back in 2002 and also in 2009.
1-1 to Casilla. Span goes and the pitch pulled foul. Seen Span take off on many stolen base attempts. Takes off there. Casilla fouls it behind Jerry White. Twins baseball brought to you tonight in Sony High Definition. Some concern about whether we would get this game in, whether it would start on time. Rain stopped about an hour before game time. Grounds crew did its typically outstanding job getting the field prepped, and we're ready to go.
Yep, Larry DeVito, the head groundkeeper, and his crew. Thank you.
Casilla checks his swing, and Span watches Conger make the block. 2-2.
You see Ron Gardenhire going through signs right there, relaying to that man right there, Steve Little, who relays them to the batter. And Casilla, over his last 10 ball games, hitting .333, 9 hits in his last 27 at bats. So he's starting to pick it up a little bit.
Getting back now in the middle of the lineup, hitting down lower for the last month or so. Long hold and a look over.
Yeah, Span with 4 stolen bases in 5 attempts, and one thing the Twins would like to do a little bit more of, and that's trying to steal bases. 20 stolen bases. They've been caught only 5 times, but not a lot of attempts. Only 25 by my California math.
Yeah. Well, the percentage is good. 20 out of 25. 80% is a really good stolen base success rate.
Right.
But again, when you've fallen behind as early and as often as the Twins have, that tends to stifle your running game a little bit. And a good part of the speed, of course, has been on the disabled list. Very close pitch, and it's 3-2. And Mike Scioscia barking at home plate umpire Mike DeMuro.
Yeah, I mean, Mike DeMuro, I think a lot of these pitches that this young man has thrown have been very close. Look at that. That had plenty of the plate.
And I think you could hear or read the lips. He says it's the first inning. I hear you, but it's just the first inning.
You win and lose ball games in the first inning, Mr. DeMuro.
Full count. Span likely to take off. But they throw over there and throw wildly. Span's going to try to advance, and he'll succeed.
Yeah, Trumbo had that ball in his glove, then deflected away. Maybe trying to apply the tag a little bit too quickly.
No, he just muffed it.
Yeah, should be an error on the first baseman. Yep, see him try to way he caught the ball. Had a good read right there by Span with that ball rolling kind of downhill. He knew that, you know, the first baseman would have to go get it and then make a perfect throw. So an error gets Span in the scoring position.
Well, Well, now with a full count, we'll see if Casilla can move Span up a base. That's to left center field. Borges can't make the play. Span will score. Casilla didn't touch first, and he will still gain second base. So Span held up until he saw Borges' diving attempt come up short. And then Casilla had to go back and touch first, or else he might have been standing at third.
I'm sure sometimes as a base runner or a base hitter, you're looking right there. I mean, now you become a base runner, okay? Borges almost came up with a great play, got behind him. Abreu has to go get it. And right there, kind of stumbled, and then alertly goes back, and Jerry White sends him to second base. Don't know if it would have been a triple anyway, so it worked out okay. But the fourth double of Casilla, Twins take a 1-0 lead. Casilla picks up his 5th RBI of the year.
And now Kubel takes ball 1. All right, what is it about Chatwood's delivery? First of all, let's look at Borges' speed and his attempt.
Yeah, great effort. Just came up a glove short of making a great catch.
Got a bouncer right side. Casilla will advance to third on the ground out. 2 down, or 1 down, I should say.
What I've seen from Chatwood so far, he's got a little bit of a hitch in his once he brings that ball down, he's got a little bit of a hitch. We have not seen him at all. And you see Kubel right there getting high fives all around. He did his job, folks. He got Casilla from second to third. Now it's up to Justin Morneau to drive him in.
And a foul back.
Well, I was talking about this earlier. Chatwood in the first 3 innings, you see the high ERA, and then after that he settles down. You know, Mike Scioscia says, this young man, he's very competitive, and I think, he'll learn that he doesn't have to throw as hard, in the first couple innings. You want to just impress so hard at the beginning, and then once you settle down, then he calms down a little bit.
Another foul back by Morneau, 2 strikes. Well, he's had to deal with a situation where he's kind of flummoxed by the strike zone or lack of it by the home plate umpire. His first baseman's made an error. Now he's going after Morneau and gets ahead of him, 0-2. Infield playing back. They'll concede another run if Morneau can put it in play. This one lifted foul, chased by Callaspo. Morneau is out, leaving for the time being. Casilla at third. And that'll leave it up to Cuddyer. And this is when the team is going good.
Yep.
And the Twins have not been going good. But when they have gone and played very well, Morneau gets a little relief here from the next batter.
And Michael Cuddyer with 999 career hits. Would like to maybe pick up an RBI with that 1,000th hit in a Twins uniform. You mentioned it earlier, Dick. Cuddyer missed the last couple ball games. A little bit of a sore right hip.
Nice block by Conger. Cuddyer, like Justin Morneau, Paul Molitor, Jim Cott, Rod Crew, all did a wonderful job last night eulogizing Harmon Killebrew.
Yes, they did. Cuddyer right now tied with Bob Allison for 14th on the Twins all-time hit list.
1-1 to Cuddyer. To right field. Picked off by the second baseman. Good catch by Izturis to end the inning. And the Twins get 1. pair. Twins with a 1-0 lead. Alexi Casilla driving one to left center field just out of the reach of Peter Borges. And the Twins will take that 1-0 lead into the second inning here. Russell Branyan making his second plate appearance for his new team. Ended the ball game yesterday with a deep fly to center. Released by the Diamondbacks last weekend, and for the longest time he's always seemed like an American League DH type of player anyway, and now he's back in the American League.
Yeah, you see the 190 home runs. A couple of years ago he had 31 home runs for the Seattle Mariners. A career high.
Seems like the Angels for several years now have been looking for offense. They've got pitching, they've usually got pretty good defense, but they've always been a bat or two short of what they want.
Well, they're hoping that Kendy Morales would be the guy that they were really wanted, but he just had surgery again today on that ankle. Second time around.
1-2 to Branyan.
And he's out the rest of the year, and they're hoping he'd be ready for spring training next year.
And I think most baseball fans remember his injury. He hit a game-winning walk-off grand slam, came to home plate, jumped on home plate, landed on something awkwardly, and shattered his ankle. Rick Anderson hoping that Scott Baker can have a quicker second inning. And another strikeout, his third of the ballgame. You can ask a question online at carsoup.com/baseball. Timothy Schofield from beautiful Hastings, Minnesota, wondering after a player leaves an organization, do they still hang out with ex-teammates when they return as a visitor?
I think only if you liked your ex-teammates. That's all. Roy Smalley, you ever hang out with any of your ex-teammates?
You know, you're absolutely right, Bert. You got to like them first. And, you know, I got traded a couple of times, and you really don't hang out too much. Sometimes there'll be a certain guy or two that you were really, really close to, and you'd hang out with them a little bit. But for the most part, you're making new friends and new teammates.
Yeah, I think our relationship, Frank Viola and I know when I went to the Angels and he was still with the Twins in '88, you know, actually we had a camp over one night. We put up a tent and everything.
Oh, now come on.
We had the kids with us, but Frankie and I slept outside with the kids.
I'd have paid money to see you.
There's a picture of it somewhere.
2 down.
Did you have your little teddy bear pajamas?
Yes, yes, we did. And late at night, we ran back in and got some cookies and milk.
Strikeout number 4 for Baker.
Well, this is on the breaking ball. First breaking ball. You see, that's good location right there.
I just
picture it, okay? Just picture it.
I'm trying.
We had
very
a big
hard.
tent too. Big tent.
Yeah.
Admitted you had the pajamas with the trap door in the back, didn't you?
Well, we won't go that far.
Strike one. Hank Conger, the Angel catcher. A high fly to right field. Kubel over for the third out. Couple of strikeouts and a 10-pitch second inning for Scott Baker. local Lowe's to cast your MLB All-Star ballot and enter to win a trip to the All-Star Game. Compliments of Scott's. It'll be in Arizona this year. Twins were just there last weekend.
Hey, before we go a little deeper, I want to say hello and happy birthday to Marion Martin, 99 years old today. My wife Gail and I talked to her a couple days ago. She's from Dilworth, Minnesota. So happy 99th birthday, Marion.
I understand Marion's one of the most loyal Twins viewers out there. Angels putting a shift on for Jim Thome as Chatwood was getting ready to deliver the pitch. It's hit well to left field. And Abreu on the edge of the track makes the catch. You know who tried that here as a manager of the Twins when Wade Boggs was at his peak? Ray Miller, when he was a manager with the Twins, would shift while the pitch was being delivered. And it wasn't so much the shift. I think it was trying to distract Boggs a little bit while he was in looking at the pitcher. One down. Here's Delmon Young.
Now, I know baseball has a rule, Dick. If you're the shortstop or the second baseman, you can't go out there and wave your hands or anything like that, as long as you're not in the eye of that batter.
See, I think it should be like college basketball. Somebody's trying to make a free throw. People waving around and yelling and hooting and hollering. 2 strikes to Delmon Young. Now there is definitely a hitch in Chatwood's delivery. If you were the Angels, would you try to smooth it out? Or you let him come to you and say, I want to tinker with this a little bit. Fastball inside. Oh, my. Now, we have got an entirely different strike zone here in the second inning than we had in the first.
Well, it is a second inning, you know.
Well, look at this pitch. It's right down the stripe of the batter's line.
Let's take a look at Chatwood's delivery right here. That little, as you see the long arm, and then he brings the ball, brings it straight up. He just really drops that right hand back.
Here's Danny Valencia. I suppose when a young pitcher like Chatwood comes up, when there's somebody in the other league, Tim Lincecum, who's got rather unique mechanics, and he's winning Cy Young awards annually, you probably feel like you can get away with some less than perfect mechanics.
Oh, Mike Butcher, here's a base hit right there by Danny Valencia. He needed that hit right there. But you know, I mean, Mike Butcher, outstanding pitching coach. I'm sure he'll look at it and see if he can fix it, but doesn't look wrong to me. Twin fans, go to foxsportsnorth.com and click on the Circle Me Burt to submit your email. You might find yourself up in the booth here just for home games. We'll reveal 2 sections the morning before each game, one listed on foxsportsnorth.com and the other one on KFAN.com.
A line drive that'll end the inning again with a soft line drive off the bat of Gutierrez. Minnesota Twins baseball is brought to you by Explore Minnesota. Visit exploreminnesota.com to plan your next Minnesota vacation today. And that's the Valley Fair Amusement Park in Shakopee, the largest amusement park in the upper Midwest. Now with Snoopy and the gang at Planet Snoopy. Valley Fair, over 75 exciting rides and attractions, including 8 roller coasters, Silk City Water Park, and now the Peanuts game. The park is open for the season. Scott Baker delivering ball 1. He's had a couple of good innings, a couple of scoreless innings. Peter Borges will lead things off here in third. And we're very happy to have here with the busy travel time this weekend, Lieutenant Eric Roski of the Minnesota State Patrol. He's the public information officer. Here's a one-hopper to Morneau, one away. And Lieutenant, as I was coming into the ballpark earlier today from the northwest, columns of cars heading out. It's a very, very busy weekend for holiday travel, isn't it?
Well, it's supposed to be the first busy weekend of the summer, although it's not very summer-like.
Right.
But we still see a lot of people traveling this weekend, and we're just trying to remind them to use common sense and be safe out there.
And one of the big things is buckle your seatbelt, right?
Absolutely. We see way too many people killed every year because they're not wearing their seatbelt and seriously injured. So they're just trying to get a reminder out there to wear that seatbelt and use common sense.
Now the highway patrol, the state parole, parole. If you end up, that's where you're going to end up.
Yeah.
But the state patrol, Lieutenant, I mean, you guys use extra men, and there's a lot of you out there now for this weekend.
Yes, we will have additional troopers out. There'll also be city police officers, deputies, and really our goal is for everybody to get where they're going, enjoy the weekend, and come home safely.
I saw something today, and I won't say where, but there was a warning sign that seatbelts and their use being checked in a particular part of a highway. I don't know that I'd ever seen that before. Are there many of those around just to remind people to buckle up?
It is, and
you got to look, Dick. They're all over.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we do have a lot of them out this weekend, and again, it's a reminder to people to buckle up. Our goal is not to write tickets. We'd rather see everybody wearing their seatbelt, so we don't have to stop them for that.
All right, let me ask you, Lieutenant. Cell phones. People are texting and driving and driving. Do you think they could do all that and still drive, fast?
Well, that's part of the problem is those distractions that get inside the vehicle. They take your mind off the road, and what happens is you find yourself in a crash, hurt, or in some serious situations killed.
They're showing right there, historically, Memorial Day weekend is amongst the deadliest weekends of the year.
It is, unfortunately.
Be safe out there, please.
And that's why we're here tonight, to try to remind people of that, because we don't want this weekend to be one of those.
2 down, and here is Eric Ibar, and there is ball 1. In driving in today with seeing all the traffic coming out of the metro area, I thought, that in and of itself, with the congestion on the freeways, has got to create some driving hazards as well. What advice would you give people who find themselves, instead of going 65 down the highway, whatever the speed limit might be, now you've got more cars and people are going 30 miles per hour instead?
Right. It really is a reminder of folks that if you're traveling this weekend with all the traffic on the road, plan for extra time, plan for delays, and you won't find yourself in a hurry pushing the envelope a bit.
Right. If you're 5 minutes late, big deal.
Right. If you're going to the cabin to relax, so what if you're there a half hour later?
When I went through driver's ed a long, long time ago, the rule of thumb was 1 car length for every 10 miles per hour on the speed. Is that still the rule of thumb?
Well, actually, what we use is the 3-second rule now, because car lengths and speed is a little tough to judge. So if you think about being 3 seconds behind the vehicle you're following, then it'll give you time to react should something happen, a crash or a slowdown because of that congestion.
1 and 2. And that's regardless of what speed you're going, right?
Right. Obviously, the higher speeds, the 3 seconds is going to be an increased distance, and the slower speeds, it might be a little bit.
If you're going
closer.
60 and the guy in front of you is going 50, Dick, you probably should back off a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Thanks, Bert.
You're welcome.
2 and 2 to Eric Ibar. And a foul back. And Baker now with 50 pitches thrown on the night.
Is it a good weekend for teens to, drive?
Well, any teen that's out there, they need to be aware that usually they're the least experienced drivers on the road. It might be the first time they're experiencing a holiday weekend travel period. So parents need to really keep an eye on them, remind them of the common sense driving tips that we tell people to follow.
Good. Foul back. Baker struck out Ibar in the first inning on a 3-2 pitch. Got a high fastball by him. He's picked up a total of 4 strikeouts here in the third inning, a couple of ground ball outs.
Now, I mentioned before texting and everything. It is illegal here in the state of Minnesota to text and drive, right?
Yes, it's illegal to text and drive, read your email, be on the internet, all of that stuff.
Right.
Two-out single for Ibar, and that'll get Abreu to the plate. He had a similar at-bat as Ibar's just completed at-bat back in the first inning. And a long duel with Baker. Took some close pitches, fouled off some 2-strike pitches, and ended up with a sharp single to right.
And again, people are going to drink this weekend too, Lieutenant. I mean, it's going to happen.
Right.
People are going to get behind the wheel. Just use common sense, right?
Yeah, that's all we're asking people to do. We're not saying you can't have fun, you can't celebrate the weekend and enjoy the extra time off, but use common sense and don't get behind the wheel if you have had alcohol in your system or too much to drink.
Baker hits the outside corner. One strike to Abreu. Dick Bramer and Bert Blyleven and Lieutenant Eric Roski, Public Information Officer of the Minnesota State Patrol. And we're hoping that everybody has a safe holiday weekend. Lifted foul and out of play. You know, on my route to and from the ballpark, it seems like every year there's road construction. And I know that's another hazard for people to be respectful of the fact that maybe not this weekend with a holiday weekend, but when road crews are out there and they're working on the roads, you simply have to back off your speed.
Right, and it's important for people to be aware of where those construction zones are and plan ahead, so when they see those zones they can slow down, because we want the workers to work in a safe environment as well.
And Baker strikes out Abreu. The 2-out singles left aboard, and we thank Lieutenant Eric Roski for joining us here. We hope everyone has a safe holiday weekend.
Lieutenant, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
And it'll be on Fox Saturday Baseball, 6 o'clock Central, and you'll be working with Kenny Albert tomorrow.
Yes, I will.
And I'll be watching. And I'll be packing for the next road trip.
Now, are you going to the lake tomorrow?
No. I think the family's going to go, but I'm going to take care of some things. And I caught my walleyes up at the lake Wednesday night.
I was going to ask you,
yes,
how'd you do?
I did fine. I caught a couple of walleyes. And
now, do you catch and release up there?
no walleyes, no sir.
No?
No. I love eating them too much.
Okay.
night crawlers that I picked off my driveway. And instead of giving them to you to eat, I took them, and I was a little concerned at first because they're Wright County night crawlers, and I wasn't sure how they were going to work in Morrison County, but apparently they taste the same. Foul back to a walleye.
Now let me ask you, I've never caught a walleye. Okay, is it something that you hook and then it comes right to your net, or is it a fighting fish?
It's not a great fighting fish. It's not like a northern pike or a muskie or a largemouth bass.
Okay.
And Spann is called out on strike. Delman Young called out in the second, and now Spann to start the third. Chatwood has picked up a couple of strikeouts now, last couple innings.
Yeah, good pitch right there.
Here's Alexi Casilla. Hit the ball fairly well to left center field, and the speedy Peter Borges came up a half step short, trying to make a diving catch. So now that surprises me, because when you played here in your first tenure with the Twins, you did live here year-round for a few years.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss, 2 strikes.
Actually never got into fishing. Never did. Golf. I'm a golfer.
Okay. So it'd be really stupid of me then to ask you if you've ever gone ice fishing.
I did one time with Mr. Herbeck, and he drove his truck out on Lake Minnetonka, and I got out and I heard nothing but cracking.
Yeah.
And I thought, what am I doing? So I walked back to shore.
Casilla lifts it high and deep to right field. Off the wall and away from the right fielder. Hunter chases it. Picked up by Borges, and Casilla has a triple with 1 out here in the third.
An RBI double in his first at-bat, scoring Denard Spann right here. Again, Casilla been swinging a pretty good bat. Got a pitch, a fastball, and Torrey Hunter, he goes back. Remember, there's that little bit of an overhang, and Torrey Hunter kind of got locked up right there. Ball hit the base of the fence.
It looked like he took a different angle or a different route to the ball. He cut in front of the ball. Your infield in now here for Kubel. And a belt high strike. And of course, the position still fairly new for Hunter. A year ago, he was still the center fielder for the Angels. Big spot here for Kubel now as the Twins left Casilla at third base in the first inning. They don't want to do it again here in the third. Foul back, 1-1. Excuse me, 0-2. Chatwood put Morneau in a quick 0-2 hole. Ended up getting him on a little pop foul. Two strikes to Jason Kubel. Nice block again by Conger. We said that a few times already. Roy Smalley, what in the world happened to Torrey Hunter out there in right field?
You know, in the pregame show, guys, we talked a little bit about the quirks of ballparks and ground rules. The quirkiest part of Target Field got Torrey right there. That ball looked for all the world like it was going to bounce off the facing of that
limestone, yeah.
of that limestone, and he tried to play it off there, and it went over his head. It didn't hit that, and if he had gone back underneath the limestone, he'd have caught it. But that's really tricky out there. Michael Kadire plays it about as well as it can be played. Guys that aren't used to it, that's a tough read.
2-2. You can see they patched some of the turf out there where the outfielder's been wearing it down. And now 3-2. Get involved in our broadcast tonight. Let us know who you think will be the Arby's value player of the game. Text the word value, followed by a space in the player's name to short code 234-234. Full foul. Still 3-2.
Yeah, Chatwood going with a changeup right there. Kubel a little out front. Justin Morneau on deck.
Full count again to Jason Kubel. Fouled away.
Conger going out to talk to his young right-hander. Roy Smalley, you're down there. You see his the right arm of Chatwood, kind of an awkward delivery.
Yeah, you guys were talking about how herky-jerky and kind of a hitch. Watch his right hand go way down by his right leg. His right arm goes way down, straightens out. Now he's got to get it back over the top. And you were talking about whether or not they ought to try to change that delivery. The only thing that worries me about that is arm injury. Guys that hook the ball like that and take a while to get it back up on top sometimes can hurt shoulders and elbows.
Another foul off the bat of Kubel.
Well, Roy, I talked so much about Scott Baker staying back. I mean, he really has to stay back a little bit longer. You can see his follow-through. I like his follow-through because he bends his back, and that right leg really comes over his left leg. He really has a very solid follow-through.
Yeah, I think if he didn't have as good a mechanics everywhere else as he does, that arm action would be a problem.
Curve, bounce through the hole to right. And Casilla will score, and it's 2-0. Well, Kubel battled him, and he finally got a curveball and got enough of it to punch it through the drawn-in infield.
Yeah, and with the infield in, Asturis at second base, of course, it cuts down his range. So that ball hit to his left. He couldn't catch up to it. And Kubel picking up his 26th RBI of the year as Casilla scores to make it a 2-0 Twins lead.
So Kubel at first. That'll bring up Morneau. Morneau with a runner at third and one out. Fell behind quickly, and then Chatwood got him on a little pop foul and down the third baseline. There's low, ball one. And a called strike, 1-1.
Two straight changeups right there. Chatwood again, 21 years old. Signed by the Angels in 2008 out of Redlands, California. East Valley High School. Born in Fontana, California. Had a scholarship to UCLA. Turned that down to sign with the Angels. This is just his 4th year of professional baseball. And here he is, making his 10th major league start.
Well, Baker's been given a 2-0 lead. Casilla's been the biggest contributor offensively here tonight. Bounce to the right side. Should be a double play. And it is. So Morneau bounces into a double play, but not until Casilla triples, Kubel scores, and the Twins get another run.
Target Field. I'm Marnie Gellner. We want to let you fans know about a special event coming up on June 16th called Hanging with the Majors. It's at Toby Keith's I Love This Bar at St. Louis Park. It is put on by the Twins Wives Foundation, and one of those Twins Wives, Lisa Nathan, who is married to Joe Nathan, is here with us to tell us about the event. It's a great one. I've been to it before. Lisa, what can a Twins fan do at Hanging with the Majors?
Well, they could have dinner with the players. The private dinner is from 6 to 7:30. And they could pretty much just have dinner with the players, a $125 ticket per ticket for adults and $100 for children 12 and under. And they could have dinner with the players for an hour and a half.
And the wonderful thing about this event is the interaction, up close and personal. You can literally walk up to the bar and order a drink from your favorite Twins player.
Yeah, so from 7:30 on, 7:30 till about 10, you could walk up to the bar, order a drink from Joe Nathan, order a drink from Jim Thome, whoever. You could just order a drink. They're going to do fun things like the beanbag toss.
Against the players.
You could challenge a player to a beanbag toss. Yeah.
Lisa, thanks so much. Good luck with the event.
Thank you very much.
It's put on by the Twins Wives Organization. It benefits Minnesota Military Family Foundation and Dick and Bert. As always, Twins fans can go to twinsbaseball.com and click on community. It is an awesome night coming up on June 16th.
Now looking forward to it. We'll just be getting a long homestand. Our first long homestand started on the 16th. 2 strikes. There's a ball walloped into right field. A base hit for Callasco.
Yeah, too good a pitch right there. You're ahead 0-2. Boy, I tell you, beat yourself to death out on that mound when you make a pitch like that. 4th hit for the Angels. All of them singles off of Baker. Now Baker ahead in the count. They're trying to go with a high or fastball down, and then that high fastball Callasco catches up to. He gets his first hit.
And look where Butera's target was, down and in, and the pitch up and out over the plate. Here's Russell Branyan. Went down swinging his first time up.
Well, you see the uppercut swing of Branyan. That's why Mike Scioscia, they would like to have some more pop in their lineup. They have 41 home runs compared to the Twins 30. But Branyan with that uppercut swing, they feel he can hit some balls out of the ballpark. Branyan is now with the Angels his 10th different major league team to play for.
Swinging and a foul, and a couple of them he's been with twice. Yeah, right. He's with the Mariners a couple of times, the Indians a couple of times.
Yeah. Brewers a couple times.
2 strikes to Branyan.
But with that uppercut swing comes a lot of strikeouts. Baker struck him out on a high fastball in the 2nd inning.
Did he go? Nope. Reynolds, excuse me, Andy Fletcher is the 3rd base umpire.
Baker with no walks in the ball game, 4 strikeouts. Excuse me, 5 strikeouts for Baker.
Got Branyan leading off the 2nd. We'll try to get him here for out number 2 and the 4. And see if they can turn 2.
That's even better than the strikeout.
And Casilla with a strong throw to Morneau wraps up the 4th inning. It's 2-0 Twins. Reno. The best stories start here. And by AT&T. 2-0 Twins. Michael Cuddyer will lead off the fourth. He'll be followed by Jim Thome and Delmon Young. A cool night was a rainy afternoon. And we're hoping to have uninterrupted baseball tonight. This is the Angels' only trip to Minnesota this year. We go there twice. Snap bat, a little roller to short. And Cuddyer is thrown out by the shortstop Ibar, one away. Twins hit into a double play to wrap up their third inning, and then they turn one in the fourth.
Well, Russell Brania, Michael Cuddyer give Casilla a quick feed, and then Casilla getting out of the way of the sliding Callaspo, and then a solid throw across the diamond. Over 2-0.
That's the type of thing they're working on down in Florida with Tsuyoshi Nishioka. Of course, Nishioka hung around the bag, got nailed by Nick Swisher, and broke his leg, and he's working on that very thing right now. Different moves around the bag to avoid contact.
Get out of the way.
One strike to Thome, and now a ball. Paul Molitor spent some time down in Florida working with Nishioka. 1-1 to Thome. Slash foul, 1-2. Pass along best wishes to a good friend from our fantasy camp, Bob Irwin, recovering at St. Mary's in Rochester. Hope to see you at camp next January.
Yes.
1-2 to Jim Thome. To right center field, and Hunter comes in to make the catch. He was playing almost back on the warning track. Cut over to make the play, out number 2. And that'll bring up Delmon Young. Our AT&T trivia question. Who are the 3 American League managers to win 1,000 games with his only team? Okay. Well, Mike Scioscia's one of them. Delmon Young in the first
that's
pitch
all we need.
is going to pop up near the mound. 6 pitches, and the Twins are done quickly in the fourth. Well, a good start to this series. Opening game of 3 with the Twins and the Angels. Roy Smalley, Marty Gellner, Bert Blatov, and Dick Bramer. And the Twins have a 2-0 lead as we move to the 5th inning.
Yeah, Scott Baker, no walks, 5 strikeouts in the ball game. Alexi Casilla, a couple good plate appearances, an RBI double in the first, and then a triple and scored in the third.
Outside, ball 1, Trumbo, Conger, and Borges. 3 of the younger, least experienced players that the Angels have. And you look at the Angels, Burton, they seem to have a kind of a bookend roster. They've got a lot of veterans like Hunter and Abreu, guys like that. Then an awful lot of young guys. There aren't many. I mean, the Twins have a lot of guys in their late 20s, Mauer and Kubel and Delman Young, guys like that. Foul back. The Angels have them on the extremes, it seems like. Guys who've been around for a long, long time, or guys just getting their feet wet.
Well, you need the veterans. You need the Torrey Hunters. You need the Abreus to really help these young kids go through the ups and downs of what a long season's all about.
2-1. Popped up, playable, with Kanier coming in. One down. Well, here's our Sanford Health injury report. Buster Posey suffered a broken left leg, a collision at home plate, placed on the 15-day DL. It's very likely that his season will be over with. Have you seen the play?
Yes, I have.
And what are your thoughts? Because now there's an outcry saying that you need to protect catchers. They're too exposed. If they don't have the ball, you shouldn't be able to run into them.
Well, maybe that's what they should have said about was it Miguel Oliva, who ran into Rivera the other day. Almost the same type of play that tried to jar the ball loose by dropping his left shoulder into the catcher.
Catchers have been hurt on plays like that forever. One of the most violent collisions I've ever seen involved Torrey Hunter of the Twins then, and he ran into Jamie Burke in Chicago.
Flattened him.
And that was more out of the ordinary than the play I saw involving Buster Posey. To me, it looked like Posey was in position to receive the ball and put a tag on it, and the runner simply decided, my best chance to score is to take care of the catcher.
Well, that's your job. I mean, your job is to try to score, and sometimes that catcher gets in the way and you have to barrel him over. You know, sometimes the catcher wins too in a lot of those battles where the base runner will get hurt.
Here's what happened here with Olivo coming in, and Rene Rivera takes a forearm to the face.
Now look where, I mean, you know, Olivo basically saying, I'm going to go right through you and I'm going to try to jar that ball loose. Rivera held on to it.
And we saw Rivera afterwards adjust his jaw, making sure all his teeth were still in place.
Well, I saw Cousins, you know, with the Marlins go in, and yeah, he dropped the shoulder. He went into Posey, but you know, it looked like Posey had the ball long enough to where it wasn't a bang. It was bang bang, but Posey still had a chance to, you know, to defend himself a little bit.
2-2. Foul back. Now Mike Scioscia says, well, wait a minute, let's not rewrite the rule book just because a catcher broke his leg. Ray Fosse, who was involved in maybe the most infamous collision at home plate with Pete Rose in the All-Star game, said, no, it's part of the game. It's part of the hazards. It's part of why if you love your son, you don't want him to be a catcher. It's dangerous back there.
It's also one of the quickest ways to get to the big leagues, too, if you can catch and handle a staff and also hit a little bit.
2-2.
That's why you see a lot of catchers stay around the game a long time because they're durable. Look at Mike Redmond. I mean, Redmond, you know, finally got a little bit of playing time with the Marlins, but he had a very nice career as a backup catcher.
2-2. Fly ball, center field. Casilla out in the short outfield, makes the catch. And out number 2, a couple of infield pop-ups here to get the first 2 outs of the 5th inning. You can take the Twins with you wherever you go this season. Subscribe to MLB.tv today and see every Twins game live or on demand on your computer and your favorite devices. Visit twinsbaseball.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv. Baseball everywhere. In-market blackout rules apply. Well, my concern would be this: if they change the rules for catchers, and for heaven's sakes, you got to do it to middle infielders, don't you? Here's a bunt up the line. Valencia bare hands, fires, makes a nice play to get the speedy Peter Borges. 3 up, 3 down in the 5th. The Twins hold on to a 2-0 lead.
the Minnesota Lottery Winners Circle, we have $100 worth of scratch-off lottery tickets for Kim and Eric from Windham, Minnesota, who are getting married in August. They say they could use the lottery winnings. Kim, do we have doves flying out of cakes or something in this wedding?
We might now if we win all the money that we need to.
Well, how about a circle from Bert? How's that for an early wedding present?
That'd be perfect. Love you, Bert.
All right, Dick and Bert, scratch-off winners for tonight.
Eric Ibar with a fielding error that will allow Danny Valencia to reach base leading off the 5th inning.
They have a nice wedding right there, and they will give him an error. Ibar with just his 3rd error of the year. The Angels came in with only 24 team errors. They've made 2 already here tonight. The Oakland A's have the fewest errors. Ball just getting away from Ibar.
Here's Butera with Valencia at first, nobody out. And a fastball down the middle of the strike. Now, when I read the Circle Me Bert sign, I took it to mean they would love to get the money from the Minnesota State Lottery. But as a backup, the suggestion that you could fund part of the wedding personally if they didn't get any, that's the way I understood it.
Well, I guess you took that all wrong.
Popped up, straight up, and back far enough. And it's 0-2 to Butera. Just, like,
you know what? You have a daughter. She's going to get married one day.
Yep.
I have a daughter that went through a wedding.
Yeah.
And you'll find out how much it costs, young
Just
man.
chip in, like, for the photographer or something like that. The cake.
I'll buy him a camera.
Two strikes to Butera. The manager, we're told, isn't real happy in the dugout. Perhaps the bunt was on and Butera had missed the sign. I don't know. At any rate, had a chance here to take advantage of the air and try to move Valencia up. And now Butera is going to have to
get a base hit.
Get a base hit here to make everything all right in his world. Pop up short right center. And Hunter coming in and making a nice catch. And an off balance throw backed up nicely by Conger. Wouldn't have gone into the Twins dugout with the screen. But Hunter with a nice running catch for the first out.
Wow, that's your job as a catcher right there. Not only to try to protect a runner from coming into home plate, calling a good game, but backing up plays. Butera kind of got jammed right there. Torrey Hunter coming in. You see Valencia going halfway, then getting back. There's Conger backing that play up.
Here's Denard Span. Walked and scored in the first. And then was called out on strikes in the third. Late on the fastball. Strike one. Crazy game in Texas. They're only in the 3rd inning, and the Rangers and Royals have gone back and forth. It's already 7-6 in the 3rd inning. Indians are losing 5-0. David Price and the Rays. Bell tie strike 2. Strikes now to Span. Fouled back on the breaking ball.
I mentioned Chatwood last year. He was the minor league pitcher of the year. He started in Single-A, moved up to Double-A, and then ended the season in Triple-A. Started this season in Triple-A, but then called up on April 8th. Scott Downs went on a disable list. Chatwood got a call up and put right into that rotation.
Two strikes to Span. Nice ball by Conger. They're really doing a nice job behind the plate. course, his manager is one of the best defensive catchers in his era.
Well, and there's a guy right there that can block the plate with the best of them.
Up the middle and into center field. Valencia will hold up at second. So Span with a hot ground ball might have caught part of the mound, but it skipped into center field. First and second one out. And Alexi Castillo already has a couple of extra base hits in this game. Coors Light cold hard blast.
Yeah, over the last 10 ball games, he's been swinging a bat a lot better. You see him right there, getting ready, clapping with his bat. Let's go, do something good for me. And so far, it's been a very good bat. 2 for 2, a double and a triple.
And Castillo would love to get a single here. And whether he ever hits a home run tonight, he'd love to get a big hit here to try to build the Twins' lead. Halfway to the cycle with the double and the triple. One and 0. Well, Casilla has been hitting the ball better. His average up to 229. And returning to shortstop, a position he hasn't played for a while. Spent a lot of time over on the other side of the middle infield. 3-0 with Kubel on deck. Chatwood has walked only one man, and it was the very first man he faced, Denard Span. And Conger coming out to the mound. Casilla takes all the way. It's a strike. "21 years old." Mike Butcher, the pitching coach. There's ball 4, and they're loaded up now for Jason Kubel.
Well, second walk of the ball game for Chatwood. He walked Denard Span to lead off the bottom of the first inning. And Span scored.
And here comes Mike Butcher to the mound. And a quick trip to the mound by the Angel pitching coach. So what were you like when you were about Chatwood's age and you pitched on the road? I mean, at some point you got to the point where you wanted to eat the other team's liver with a bottle of Chianti. But it's unrealistic to expect a young guy to feel as comfortable on the road as he does at home.
Yeah, it'll take him a while to feel comfortable, but I think he'll do a good job. You go to Fenway Park or Yankee Stadium for the first time, you're kind of in awe just being there. You come here, you see this beautiful ballpark. Another great, look like a sellout crowd here tonight. Anaheim draws well, but he did grow up in that area, so he is pitching at home. 7.43 ERA on the road so far for Chatwood, and at home in Anaheim, 2.87.
Kubel takes low, ball 1. Over the years, and almost from his very first year, Kubel's been Minnesota's best hitter with the bases loaded. Lifted foul and out of play. And when we've asked him about it, post-game interviews, if he gets a big hit here, we may ask him about it again after the game today. He says he just feels an inner confidence and calmness in situations like this, realizing it's the pitcher that's on the defensive, not the hitter.
I played with a guy in Cleveland, and now he does TV for the Toronto Blue Jays. Pat Tabler.
Yep.
think he was a 500-plus hitter with bases loaded.
Grand slams, doubles, singles. Kubel just feeling very comfortable at the plate in these situations, and now he's got a 2-1 count. Swings through a fastball, 2-2. Chatwood getting that one up to 94 miles per hour.
Yeah, just a high fastball, and Kubel, you see, a little late.
Two and two to Jason Kubel. Lace to center field. Valencia scores. Span behind him. Kubel comes through again with the bases loaded.
Well, it looked like Chatwood tried to go back with another high fastball, and Kubel caught up to that one right up the middle. Well, the Twins take a 4-0 lead thanks to Jason Kubel's third RBI of the ballgame.
Well, the same pitch in the same spot. Kubel missed the first one, but not the second one. Wow. So 4-0 Twins, still only one out. And Morneau to the plate. Base hit to right. Casilla will be held at third. And Morneau catching up with a fastball and drilling it to Hunter in right field.
Casilla had to make sure this ball went through the infield. Hesitated a little bit at second base. Watch Casilla right there, kind of hold, and then took off to third base. Ball got to Torrey Hunter so quickly, Casilla had no chance to score. Held up by Steve Little, the third base coach.
So the bases now are reloaded for Michael Cuddyer. Strike on the outside corner. Cuddyer tonight has hit a line drive to the second baseman. It's Turris. And then a ground ball to Ibar at short.
Again, Cuddyer with 999 career hits.
To right center field. Hunter over. Makes a running catch. And Kubel has run to third. He'll be doubled off. Would have been a sacrifice fly. Casilla would have trotted in, and Ron Gardenhire can't stand it anymore. The Twins get two.
To you by Bryant Heating and Cooling. Windy and warmer for Game 2 of the 3-game series. Tomorrow at 6 o'clock, little after 6. Look for a spotty thunderstorm. First pitch of 70 degrees.
4-0. The Twins have the lead. And they could have had at least one more in the 5th inning. But Kubel ran into a double play. Baker's first pitch, a called strike. Now I just checked with the official scorers, Stu Thornley and Greg Wong, and they both had the same memory and interpretation of the rule that I had. Remember last year or the year before, Nick Punto got caught in a play like this. Now Casilla tagging and scoring, and if he had crossed the plate before the out was recorded at second base, the run would have counted. It's not a forced play double play. And Casilla didn't run hard, he wouldn't have scored anyway. But if the Angels, for instance, had dropped the ball or thrown it around a little bit, if Hunter had one-hopped the middle infielder and he didn't field it cleanly, the run would have scored from third base anyway. But none of it matters. 3-1 and a pop-up near third base. Valencia across the line. One down. Marty Gellner's got a special guest.
Well, Dick, we do because of a special event coming up tomorrow morning, an autograph opportunity for Twins fans outside Gate 29, 11:30 to 12:30. Brian Donaldson with the Twins is here to tell us more because, Brian, this is benefiting victims of tornadoes, and we're not just talking about the tornado from North Minneapolis.
Yeah, this was really Matt Kapp's idea, a guy from the south, from Georgia. He was really impacted by the tornado destruction in the southeast, and he wanted to do something for victims of that tornado, so he came up with this idea to sign autographs and raise money. And lo and behold, last Sunday, a tornado rips right through our own backyard in North Minneapolis. So we added that to the beneficiaries, and we're gonna hopefully raise money for many people who've been affected by tornadoes in the southeast here in Minnesota and of course in Missouri.
Wonderful opportunity for fans to get an autograph from players at a wonderful time for the Twins to be donating some money. A $10 donation to the Red Cross Dick and Bert will get fans an autograph 11:30 to 12:30 outside Gate 29 tomorrow. More details, of course, at twinsbaseball.com.
Very nice gesture by Matt Capps, and whoever does sign, thank you for helping out.
Another way where the Twins so quickly and appropriately respond to the needs of people in Twins territory. Where it's a rebuilding of fields for kids in Wadena. I know they did that when the tornado ruined the field in Wadena last summer. 2 strikes and a foul ball. Remember when the tornadoes went through St. Peter, Minnesota? So many of the trees went down. The Twins reforested, if you will, St. Peter, Minnesota, planting a lot of trees. 2 strikes to Ibar. Bouncer to first. Morneau backpedals. Baker covers. And out number 2. Arby's and Fox Sports North are giving you a chance to win a trip for 2. Where? Fort Myers, Florida. Simply pick up an Arby's It's Good Mood Food Code card every Friday. And Arby's are still open right now. You can still get it done tonight if you'd like. Then log on to foxsportsnorth.com.
Can I be 17?
You can be 17 all you want, but if you are, you can't enter the contest. Click on the Fan Zone tab, enter the code for the chance to win. You got to be a member of the Fan Zone. We've told you that a number of times. And you also have to be 18 or older. We've been very emphatic about that. There should be no more confusion about this. Visit foxsportsnorth.com for complete contest details. 2 down, and here's Abreu.
I think you read that again Sunday.
Why don't you read it tomorrow on the Fox National broadcast?
All right.
And if the national audience is made aware of the fact that you can't be a winner if you're under age 18, then we won't have to read it every night. We've got the influence, the power of a national broadcast tomorrow, and you can make it a lot less work for all of us if you just make everybody aware of it tomorrow.
And you wouldn't have to read it anymore.
I wouldn't have to read it anymore. Abreu strikes out, and it's another good 1-2-3 inning for Scott Baker. Welcome back to the Coors Light 6th inning and the Coors Light Freeze Cam.
Alexi Casilla. Borges, the center fielder, almost made a great catch, but the ball got away. Casilla get an RBI double.
And that's our Frostbrewed Coors Light Freeze Cam. Jim Thome leads off the 6th. Lifted high and deep to left center field. Borges going to the wall. It is Pop on the wall. He made the catch. A sensational catch by Peter Borges. He took home run number 594 away from Jim Thome.
That ball had a lot of hang time, and Borges needed his speed to catch up to it. Torrey Hunter applauding in right field, saying, I used to do that in center field. Look at undercut, swing, the strength of Jim Thome. Borges going and leaping and making a great catch.
Outside to Delmon Young. Borges leaping up, timing the leap perfectly. And boy, it would have hit right on top of the fence and likely would have bounced over. Here's a fly to deep right, and Hunter going back, making a routine catch with Borges ready to back him up. Remember when Borges came up last year and Torrey moved to right field and Borges made a catch like that? Torrey paid Borges the ultimate compliment. Said it was like watching a young Torrey out there in center field. 2 down quickly. Next. That'll bring up Valencia. Valencia reached on an error to start the 5th inning. The Twins ended up scoring a couple of runs that inning, but a base running blunder ended the inning. 2-0. So Valencia has reached twice. Chatwood has only thrown 82 pitches. Thome kind of hit it out in the direction where he was a spectator last night. And Valencia gets his second hit. He's reached all 3 times. Good to see Valencia picking up some hits. So log on to FoxSportsNorth.com and read Patrick Donnelly's exclusive interview with Hall of Famer Carl Eller on the state of the players and ex-players lawsuit against the NFL. You can read that story and more right now at FoxSportsNorth.com.
You imagine we're 520 feet.
520 feet. Yep.
That's the only place in the ballpark that's 520 feet, I guess. I mean, that's the furthest seat away. That was cold.
The home run that Harmon hit at Met Stadium was more to straightaway left field, but just to give fans a vantage point, it was that seat, the lone seat at the top of the stairs there. That's where Jim Thome was last night.
But I think if he moved him over, that's not 520 feet.
No.
Right, it would have been over the third deck.
Harmon back in 1967 hit one into the second deck at Met Stadium. And then last night, as part of the ceremony, they put Jim Thome up there, 520 feet from home plate. And he had Harmon Killebrew's game-used jersey from 1962 with him. And that was one of the more touching moments of what was a very touching ceremony last night. At least the feedback I got from people. They just thought that was really cool to have Jim Thome sitting 520 feet from home plate. The water tower draped in the number 3.
That is great. That is awesome.
Butera takes a strike, 3-1.
I like too that they put a signature out in right center. You know, all the players will look at that and you can read their signature. We'll read Harmon's signature right there. We'll make them want fans to read theirs.
And Butera draws a walk. So the number 8 batter has singled. The number 9 batter has walked. And the Twins are threatening to do more damage here in the 6th. Mike Scioscia coming out. Won't be making a pitching change here, I don't think, because Hisanori Takahashi is now going to come into the game.
Take a look and see what his high pitch was. 95. Scott Baker at 93.
Years ago, when the Twins would play the Angels, one of the highlights of our broadcast was when they brought in a right-handed relief pitcher, and his name was
Shigetoshi Hashigawa.
Well, he's long gone, and now the Angels have a left-handed relief pitcher whose name is
Ishinori Takahashi. Takahashi making his 22nd appearance. 1-0 out of that bullpen. 20 innings pitched. You see the 13 strikeouts, 9 walks in his first season with the Angels. Is coming over from the Mets, signing as a free agent. A 2-year contract by the Angels.
Doesn't seem to roll off your tongue like.
See, the quarterback in high school was Roger Takahashi. So, a good friend of mine still lives in Southern California.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Well, here's Span with a couple of runners aboard and 2 out. Breaking ball and a swing and a miss.
The scouting report on Takahashi, pretty good fastball. Will throw a screwball, and we talked about that, about a week ago? Not too many guys throw a screwball. A slider, curveball, and a little cut fastball.
1 strike to Span. He's trying to mount a rally here with 2 gone in the inning. Just off the corner, and it's 1-1. Span singled and scored his last time up. Walked and scored in the first inning. The first inning run, I believe, is still charged as an earned run, even though there was an error that allowed Span to advance a base. Foul back. Twins with a run in the first, a run in the third, 2 in the fifth. Left-handers marginally better than right-handers so far this year. 1-2. And I think that's one of the reasons why we've seen Span with the ability to make contact, flip off some foul balls, and keep his at-bat alive until he finds something he can handle. One and 2. Fastball staying up and or in, and it's 2-2.
Takahashi, 36 years old, coming over from Tokyo, Japan, and signing with the Mets last year.
Two and 2 to Span. Now a full count with Casilla on deck. It's been a real tidy game for either team. The Angels have made some mistakes in the field. The Twins have made some mistakes on the bases. Full count to Span. Runners go. The pitch bounced to the right side. And that's the end of the threat. A couple of men left aboard. The inning started with Jim Thome making a bid for career home run number 594. pitching a shutout so far.
Well, Chatwood ended up walking Denard Span to lead the bottom of the first inning, and then a RBI double by Alexi Casilla. And with bases loaded, it was Jason Kubel, a 2-run single in the 5th inning, giving the Twins a 4-0 lead. Kubel with 3 RBIs in the ball game with a couple hits.
And so we go to the 7th inning. Leadoff man's Torrey Hunter. He hit the first pitch from Scott Baker in the 4th inning and flipped his bat like he hit a home run. And Delmon Young went back to the wall, grabbed it for the first out. So it might be one of those nights where it is very cool and damp and all the things hitters don't like, because it sure looked like Thome was going to hit a home run to lead off the Twins 6th, and that ball was caught on top of the fence by Borges. 1-1. 2-1.
Well, Baker's allowed 4 hits, all singles. 92 pitches, 68 for strikes.
2-1 to the Angels right fielder. The ball shot to right, a base hit. Angels had a day game yesterday, so Torrey Hunter couldn't be here for the memorial service, but he was here, I guess you can't even say on videotape, on recorded video image. And Hunter showed on the left what his autograph looked like before he met Harmon Killebrew. And then the example on the right after Harmon admonished him, as he did so many ball players, take the time to do it right.
Right. And you can read Torrey Hunter now.
Off-speed pitch over for a strike. And Harmon's autograph in classic script on the right center field fence. Up and away, and it's 1-1. Baker approaching the 100 pitch mark. Payaspo got a single his last time up.
One double play turned behind Baker. That was Russell Branyan, who in the 4th inning.
Pulled out by Butera, and it's 2-1. Getting a leadoff hit in the 7th, and now a call to the Twins bullpen. Fouled back, 2-2. Dusty Hughes and Alex Burnett taking the jackets off.
Yeah, I want to congratulate you and John Gordon, too. Great job of emceeing last night.
Thank you very much. 2-2. As I've told you, it was an honor for me, and I'm sure for John, too, to simply be a part of the service last night. But I want to deflect all the comment and praise about the program over to Andy Price. I think Andy and the Twins did a superb job of putting that service together, making it enjoyable, I think, for everybody who watched a moment of it. So, as these things are, it was a pleasure to be a part of it. Liner to left, and Delmon Young smothers the first hop. Hunter thinks about it on the throw behind him, and Hunter will hold up at second. So now on the 7th, a pair of singles, and the Angels are threatening here with the dangerous but strikeout-prone Branyan up next. 6 innings so far, but you mentioned his last outing when he survived through 5 innings, and then trouble quickly mounted in the 6th.
Again, you know, late in the ball game, that high fastball, we saw it from Torrey Hunter right there. Then Payaspo, that high fastball starts. It's not 93, 94 anymore, and it's a little more hittable.
Here's Branyan. 0 for 3 as an Angel. Tonight 0 for 2, a strikeout and a ground ball double play. 1-1. Top 3 teams in the division have all lost. Red Sox beat Detroit. Toronto beat Chicago. Tampa Bay beat Cleveland. Royals, for that matter, are losing. Great chance for the Twins to finish off a ball game and a part of the game, though, that's been kind of a vulnerable spot for them. No to Branyan. Bouncer right side. Morneau flips to Baker. Branyan retired. 2 runners move up, 1 away. Slowly hit to the point where the only thing to do is to get the out at first.
Get the out right there.
So with 1 gone, that brings up Mark Trumbo. .101 pitches, and Baker, who struck out Trumbo in the 2nd inning, would love to get one here, or for that matter, get him to do what he did in the 5th, pop up to the second baseman, Cuddyer.
Well, you know, he had a tough first inning, 27 pitches, but then after that, that's how you get deeper into the ball game, by having an 8-inning pitched inning, and then a couple 13s, a 10 in the 2nd.
Baker with a nice grab of the ground ball, running right at Hunter, and now they'll get the tag and the out there. A fine fielding play, and Hunter, we've seen plays like that not be executed. He handled that perfectly.
Yeah, Baker did the right thing. He ran right at Torrey Hunter, who froze at third. And of course, Torrey Hunter thinking that that ball's going to get by the pitcher. But once he's caught right here, watch Baker kind of reach out and then get it. And then Torrey freezes. Okay, which way? And you always run him back to the bag that he came from. And then flipping it over to Valencia.
So something good happens. The Twins execute a play, and now the trainer comes out to check on Scott Baker.
Yeah, Baker may have slipped a little bit running at Torrey Hunter right there.
Ooh, right knee buckled a little bit.
And the tag out at third base.
So they're going to let Baker try to continue on and finish the 7th inning here. You could see Baker as he ran right towards Hunter, and then Torrey gave him a little shake and bake move, and Baker kind of took the shake and the bake and twisted his right knee a little bit. He grimaces as he throws the first pitch. Whatever he's saying, if he wants to stay in the game, I think he needs to say it with conviction.
Right. With
the trainer and the pitching coach there. In other words, I've got it. Don't worry about it. It's okay. We'll get through this inning. As iffy as the Twins' relief pitching has been, you want them to start an inning rather than come in with, a couple of guys on base. Carlos Silva was not without his limitations as a pitcher, but he was a master at completing 6 innings and picking up wins. He didn't pitch into the 7th very often, but he gave him 6 innings, and then the bullpen picked it up from there. Here's Hank Conger with 2 on and 2 out. Check swing. I think he went. An appeal. Yep. 1 strike. Conger with an outfield fly and an infield pop-up. Trumbo nearly got a base hit, but might have scored a couple of runs. Baker with a good fielding play. Instead, first and second, 2 down, and now up and away, 1-1. I did not see home plate umpire Mike DeMuro wave off the visit to the mound. But we're under the assumption that
medical visit.
It was a medical visit. Foul back, 1-2.
Moncher just 23 years old. Angels' #1 pick back in 2006. He grew up in the Southern California area, born in Washington, but graduated out of Huntington Beach, California high school.
One and two. Angel catcher. Loop to Casilla to end the inning. 7 shutout innings for Scott Baker. Time now for the 7th inning stretch. Brought to you by Medica. McDonald's. Right now, you can get 20 crispy chicken McNuggets for just $4.99 at McDonald's. And the new Quest 5-year price lock promise. Visit quest.com/promise for details. 4-0 Twins. Scott Baker persevered, got through 7 shutout innings. A very welcome sight to see Baker pitch so well again here tonight.
Yeah, an outstanding job by Baker. 106 pitches, 78 for strikes, so great strike-to-ball ratio. And Rick Anderson again talking to his starter after they come out of the ball game.
Pepsi Max in-game box score.
Yeah, Danny Valencia, he needed a good night at the plate. He had been struggling a little bit, a couple of hits, scored a run. Jason Kubel, 3 of the 4 RBIs, and Alexi Casilla having a very good night at the plate. In front of another full house here, 38,976 fans came to watch Baker pitch 7 very, very good innings. Good running fastball right off the get-go. And picking up 6 strikeouts, no walks. So outstanding job for Scott Baker.
So Baker with 7 shutout innings, and his night's work is done. And Alexi Casilla will hope to continue his successful night at the plate. A double that might have been a triple, except for Casilla stepping over first base. Then he did get a triple in the 3rd, walked and got as far as 3rd base in the 5th. So Steve Little and Alexi Casilla have been in close proximity all night long.
Paying a little tribute to Harmon Killebrew here.
Casilla, Kubel, and Morneau here in the 7th inning. Cassilla's reached all 3 times, scored once, driven in a run. As a right-handed batter, it hasn't gone real well for Casilla so far this year. Casilla just hitting .138 as a righty. 4 hits in 29 at-bats. 1-1.
Takahashi last year with the Mets, 10 wins, 6 losses. He started 12 ball games for the Mets in 53 appearances. Always seems like, you know, every Japanese pitcher or hitter have a different stance. Pitchers, they all, you know, have a different way of going at baseball. All just unorthodox type. A little hesitation there. Couple hesitations.
Hit pretty well to left field. Abreu going back, and he'll play it off the wall. Casilla with another extra base hit. Well, Abreu's been a great hitter, but his better defensive days are behind him. And that time he retreated on the ball and then gave up on catching it on the fly.
Well, he went back right here. Casilla got a fastball and then hitting it sharply, timing it perfectly. And because, you know, Abreu, I think that ball's just over his head. Yep. So Casilla with his second double of the ball game, his third extra base hit.
And here is Kubel, has driven in 3 runs with 2 run-producing hits. An RBI single in the 3rd, drove in 2 with a single in the 5th. High, ball 1. And a strike at the knees, 1-1. Slow leak for Jason's batting average down to .306 to start the game, but now 2 for 3. And hoping for a 3rd hit here tonight. Little pop-up that'll spin back into the seats.
Well, the thing about Kubel, he's hit in 39 of the 47 games he's hit in. So almost every ball game, Kubel has at least 1 hit.
And he's played in every ball game for the Twins. So has Danny Valencia. A couple of pinch hitting appearances for Kubel. Kevin Jepson warming up. 1-2. Came inside, a jam shot that'll roll foul, and Kubel's going to go back and give him a stick.
Yeah, you wonder if that screwball right there that kind of ran in on Jason Kubel. Take a look at the pitch right here. See, that's that screwball. Kind of turns it over a little bit. Dice K, Matsusaka, almost the same, you know, a little hesitation once he starts his delivery in the windup. Of course, he's in the stretch now.
One and 2 to Kubel.
You see no hesitation there when he's in his windup, but in the the stretch, when he's in the windup, he has a little hesitation to get set, and then a little hesitation once he brings that right leg up.
Yeah.
Ten years in Japan, 79 wins in Japan, 202 starts. Also saved 15 ball games.
And he gets Kubel.
That looked like a screwball. He took something off. Kubel a little out front.
Casilla for the time being still at second base. Here's Morneau. Outdoor enthusiasts, Fox Sports North is your home for the best outdoor programming every Saturday and Sunday morning. You can learn about hunting, fishing, camping, your next outdoor adventure. Fox Sports North Outdoors, presented by Menards, Saturdays at 6 in the morning, Sundays at 8 in the morning, only on Fox Sports North. Casilla to third, and he'll steal without a throw. So little things like that. Kubel did not advance a runner from second with nobody out. He struck out And then on the very next pitch, Casilla ends up there anyway.
Well, you don't pay any attention to me, I'm going to take off, and that's what Casilla did. His 4th stolen base. Got a great jump.
And you saw that little hesitation that time with the high leg kick. So now the infield in for Morneau on a 1-0 count. Rope to right. Off the wall and hard. Morneau will hold up with a single. And he drives in Casilla with his 2nd sharp single of the night.
Well, Takahashi left the ball up, and Justin just hit this ball hard off the wall in right field, picking up his 14th RBI. A fastball that split the plate. Justin, that ball hit sharply right back to Torrey Hunter, and that kept Justin Morneau at first base. But Casilla scores for the 2nd time in a ball game. The Twins lead 5-0.
And now here's Cuddyer. And there is strike 1. One and one. Foul back, 1-2. Runner at first, 1 out. Twins trying to add to a 5-0 lead. Called 3rd strike over the inside corner, out number 2.
Takahashi picking up his 2nd strikeout of the inning. Dyer doesn't think so. Let's see what Fox Track says right here.
Fox Tracks is brought to you by Carrier.
Cuddyer is right and shaking his head.
Here's Tomey. He's hit a liner to left, a fly ball to right, and then he hit one to the very top of the fence in left center field, but Borges intercepted it right before it was going over the wall. Strike on the outside corner. One and one. Jim Thome with 20 more home runs than Harmon Killebrew. One and two. That swing hurt Jim or not? A hefty swing and a miss. And stretch that arm out a little bit.
Does not get cheated up there.
1 and 2. Checked his swing. And 2 with Delmon Young on deck. Like Daisuke Matsuzaka, Takahashi's in no hurry between pitches. Full count. Morneau goes, and there's ball 4. So Thome trots to first. Young will hit against a different pitcher for the Angels. Peter Borges robbing Jim Thome of another home run.
Thome showing his strength off, hitting it toward the bullpen area, but Peter Borges leaps perfectly and able to bring this ball back. Look right here, that ball would have hit right on top of the fence and maybe bounced over.
See his right shoulder crashed into the chain link fence. And Jim Thome's going to come out of the game. Trevor Plouffe is going to run for him. And we hope this is just a base running move for the Twins. We hope Thome didn't do anything to hurt himself.
With the Angels, got sent down in early April, just called up back on May 11th. Young man right here, 26 years old, signed by my son Todd when my son scouted for the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Going to struggle a little bit here for Jepson. 8 in the third innings, 13 hits allowed, 7 walks, and 4 strikeouts.
2 gone, 2 on. Delmon Young, the hitter. Away ball 1. Young with a strikeout in the second, a pop up in the fourth, and a fly ball to right in the sixth. And now 2-0. Twins need to get Delmon Young going. He's too good a hitter to be hitting .210 this deep into the season.
Should get a fastball here from Jepson.
.94. Young swung through it. It's 2-1. Another one. Pretty good spot. And Young misses 2-2. Nice stop at first base. And Trumbo to the pitcher covering, and the inning ends. Alex Burnett will pitch next for the Twins.
get that signed. But this copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the written consent of the Minnesota Twins, LLC. Alex Burnett coming into the ball game, making his 16th relief appearance. High ERA, too many walks in 12 2/3 innings. 9 walks for Alex Burnett. What a good job by Scott Baker. 7 solid innings. And at the top of the show, Dick, we were talking about what will it take. It'll take a pitcher to, step up and put some zeros on the board, and that's exactly what Baker did.
Well, Peter Borges will lead things off in the 8th against Burnett. And then it's Turris and Ibar. And there's strike 1. Well, 7 innings for Baker. And I think the only time there was a trip to the mound from Rick Anderson or Ron Gardenhire was when there was the injury issue after the rundown. So it was a very good 7 innings for Baker. Kept himself out of trouble. 2 strikes.
I know a lot of family and friends are watching Alex Burnett pitch right here in the Southern California area. Get over there, Alex.
Safe at first and a close play. Borges can fly.
Yep.
And he beat Burnett to the bag for a leadoff single.
Yeah, right off the end of the bat. So that ball had a lot of spin on it. Justin Morneau tried to knock it down. Watch this ball kind of get away. They'll give an error to Justin Morneau. That ball had a lot of spin.
Well, that one I think is going to be reviewed because
I wrote down an infield base hit.
You can see the runner Borges beat the pitcher covering the bag.
Right.
So the misplay, the bobble by Morneau really didn't come into play. Burnett wasn't going to beat or didn't beat Borges to the first base bag. Leadoff man's on. And there's ball 1. And it's Turris at the plate, an 0 for 3 night.
Well, Burnett was a little late getting over there right off the get-go, and especially when you have a speedster like Borges up, you got to get over there quick.
And now 2-0.
Alex Burnett, 23 years old, grew up in the Anaheim area. Went to Ocean View High School right there in Huntington Beach.
And a strike, 2-1. And strike throwing is something that will keep Alex Burnett up here if he can do a better job of it. 9 walks in 12 2/3 innings. Too many in combination with the 15 hits.
Saw Jim Hoey. Jim Hoey just getting called up. And Kevin Slowey was put on a disabled list. And there's Dusty Hughes, the left-hander.
And he's outs now in the 8th inning. So important. The Twins have a 5-run lead. And Burnett needs to throw strikes to Myceres Turris. And instead it's a walk. Burnett thought he might have hit the corner, but now an error to Morneau and a walk, and the Angels are starting a threat again here in the 8th.
Looks like Rick Anderson will be making it a little trip out to the mound.
And did he just motion for Dusty Hughes? I know Ron Gardenhire's had an Achilles problem that has limited his mobility, so maybe pitching change made. Rick Anderson coming out to make the pitching change here in the 8th.
Ozzie Guillen is it Tom Kelly?
In history, no, I didn't. Okay.
I don't think Ozzie Guillen's one of those.
No, he hasn't. No, I just saw current managers. I misunderstood the question.
Well, we got it right. We got one. That's all we needed. Alex Burnett has to get a couple outs here, unable to do that. Peter Borges ends up getting an infield base hit. They changed the scoring on that. And the walk to Asturis. Brings in Dusty Hughes. Why? Because Eric Ibar, a switch hitter, hitting only .231 as a right-handed hitter compared to the .350 he was hitting coming into the ball game as a left-handed hitter.
Well, Hughes with runners at first and second and nobody out. A high blast to deep left field.
See ya.
And it's 5-3. Waiting for a first pitch fastball. He got it and creamed it. And the 8th inning misery for the Twins continues.
4th home run allowed by Dusty Hughes. This is a big one here. A big 3-run home run. Ibar hitting his 3rd home run, his 2nd as a right-handed hitter.
Well, he wasn't hitting .230 right-handed with belt-high fastballs right down the middle. So it's a 5-3 game. And 2 of the runs charged to Burnett. With the scoring change, they will be earned runs. And here's Abreu. There's a swing and a foul. Abreu hitless. Baker struck him out. Excuse me, he's 1 for 3. He struck out his last 2 times up against Scott Baker. There's a called second strike. There's a bouncer up the middle. Backhanded by Cuddyer. It gets by him, and Abreu will reach, and that'll get Hunter to the plate, representing the tying run. Cuddyer tried to backhand it and make the throw to Amorno to get Abreu, but the first 4 batters have reached.
Yeah, an infield base hit or a base hit for Abreu, his 2nd hit, right up the middle, hitting the mound, and then Cuddyer trying to play that little short hop. It got by him, right off the tip of his glove. Rick Anderson coming out. We saw Jim Hoey warming up in the bullpen. Looks like it'll be his turn.
So Burnett faces 2 men, can't get anybody out in the 8th. Hughes faces 2 men and can't get anybody out. Hit in the walk. Hughes came in, gave up the 3-run home run to Ibar on his first pitch, and then Abreu skipped a single past Cuddyer into short center. So the bottom line is Torrey Hunter comes to the plate. He'll face Jim Hoey. with the lead on the line. Nobody out.
Yeah, Jim Hoey just getting called up when Kevin Slowey was put on a disabled list. Started the season in AAA, got called up, then sent back down. His second stint back with the Twins. Said in AAA, he's just blowing everybody away. Started using his breaking ball a little bit more. We saw Hoey up here, mainly fastball and then that split finger.
Right.
Kind of forgot about the breaking ball, so hopefully we'll see some hard breaking balls from Hoey.
Hunter with a pair of singles and a warning track fly ball to left. He's hit the ball hard 3 times. Fastball at 94 up high. That's been the issue for Hoey, of course, controlling that live fastball. And as we said before, Abreu still capable of stealing a base.
Well, he's one of these guys, if you don't pay attention to him, he'll take off. Almost 400 stolen bases in his career.
Long hold. And another fastball at 95, but high. It's 2-0. Torrey tried to turn around a 94-mile-per-hour fastball and fouled it straight back. Two and one. Kevin Slowey put on the disabled list. Hoey called up. His second stint with the club this year. 2-1. Quicker move to first. AAA 16 strikeouts, 11 2/3 innings.
He blew that fastball right by Torrey.
Now, what I would think here is if you threw that splitter, Torrey might screw himself into the ground.
Also might let the barrel of the bat catch up to him.
Yeah, that too.
After throwing that fastball right by him.
2-2 to Hunter. Nothing but heat so far from Hoey. 3 of them out of the strike zone and not swung at. And Hunter might have chased 1 or 2 of those pitches up out of the strike zone to make the count a full count. Abreu goes driven to right field. Kubel will play the bounce. Abreu to third, Hunter to second. The tying runs in scoring position with nobody out here in the 8th.
I caught up to that 6th fastball finally and hit it sharply. Abreu had to hold up around second base to make sure that Jason Kubel doesn't catch the ball. Fastball down. Torrey with that big swing, taking it the other way. Over the head of Kubel, he plays the Karen. perfectly, but Abreu goes over to third. Torrey Hunter with a double, his third hit of the ball game on his 8th double. Well, the bullpen has had a tough time finding an out here in the 8th inning.
And what we've seen a couple of times over the last week or so is Matt Capps being brought into a situation that's been deteriorating in the 8th inning. He's not warming up now. Ball 1. In fact, neither is Joe Nathan. Now both those pitchers were kind of shut down toward the end of the Seattle series. Now Phil Dumatre is warming up. Capps is there. Nathan standing. But neither one is warming up in the 8th. 1-0 to Callaspo. Roller right side. Cuddyer knocks it down. A run will score. It'll be a base hit, and it's a 5-4 game.
Callaspo picking up his third hit of the ball game. An infield base hit knocked down by Cuddyer. As Abreu scores, and Torrey Hunter scoots over to third.
So Hoey has faced 2 men here in the 8th and hasn't retired a batter. And the tying run now 90 feet away. And the Twins will play back, hoping for a ground ball hit at somebody. They'll concede the tying run just to get a couple of outs. And that man has seen this happen before in the 8th inning. The 7th inning. 7 shutout innings before the 8th. And now the Twins seemingly can't get an out. Ranyan has hit into a double play already. Valencia will play even with the bag at third. In the dirt, ball 1. Swing and a miss. Guy at the plate who's very strikeout prone, and boy, Hoey, that's got to be at the very top of his wish list now. Hunter was at third in the 7th inning, and Baker snagged the one hopper and retired him. There's a called second strike. Hoey getting that fastball up to 96 and down in the strike zone. Fly ball left field. Hunter setting up for a tag. Young with the catch and the throw. And it's a tie game, and the throw wide of the cutoff man allows the runner at first, Callaspo, to go to second.
You have to hit the cutoff man right there. That allows Callaspo to go from first to second. Torrey still runs well, so you're not going to get Torrey Hunter, but you allow Callaspo to go from first to second. So a throwing mistake by Delmon Young. The Twins finally get an out. Ranyan picks up his first RBI as an Angel. Callaspo, you can see he goes back to tag up because you want to see where the throw is going to go. But the ball to the left, and it's even a ball that Valencia's got to cut off.
Big swing and a miss. Trumbo the hitter, and the Angels have tied the game up with 5 runs so far here in the 8th. Some of the ugliest innings the Twins have had this year, and if you rank the 10 ugliest, I bet you 9 of them would be in the 8th inning. Strike 2. So Hoey needed a strikeout of the strikeout-prone Branyan, and Branyan put the ball in play to tie the game, and now he's going after Trumbo in search of out number 2. Fouled away.
Trumbo, a big, strong kid at 6'4", about 220. He grew up in the Anaheim area, second season with the Angels. September call-up last year for the Angels.
So 2 earned runs charged to Burnett, 2 earned runs charged to Hughes, 1 so far to Hoey. He's moving up on the speed gun up to 98.
Trumbo last year at AAA, their Salt Lake AAA affiliate, 36 home runs. He drove in 122 runs and hit .301.
Chopper left side. Valencia cuts it off. Fires to first. They just barely got the runner. And an alert base running play by Callaspo. Advancing to third with Valencia moving to his left. Trumbo gets down the line pretty good.
Yeah, for a big man, he was motoring down that line. Don't know if this would have been a double play, but again, Callaspo, if he's held at first base, you know, you get the force out. Now you've got a runner at first rather than the go-ahead run at third for Callaspo.
2 down. Conger, 9th man to bat. In a rather suddenly tied game. Hoey, he's thrown 18 pitches, 13 strikes, and they've almost all been mid-90s fastballs. But he does not have a strikeout. Bouncer left side, backhanded by Casilla. Strong throw, finally puts an end to a miserable 8th inning. Good play by Casilla, but the Angels tie it up.
Here at Target Field, I'm Marnie Gellner. We hope you'll join us for Quest Twins Live, including the Toyota postgame wrap after the final out here tonight. We'll see how the Twins answer right now after giving up 5 runs in the top of the 8th. In any case, we will look at Alexi Casilla, who has become Minnesota's hottest hitter over the last week and a half. He has 3 extra base hits tonight, plus Scott Baker in his 7 strong shutout innings, and how effective Baker's changeup was. And we'll also get Ron Gardenhire's reaction tonight. I would imagine that would include the performance of the bullpen here in the 8th inning. We'll bring it all to you after the game in Quest Twins Live. Dick and Bert.
Well, another disastrous 8th inning has tied the game, and the Angels hand the ball now to Fernando Rodney.
Yeah, Rodney in his 2nd season with the Angels. The schedule will be the closer coming out of spring training. He lost that, making his 23rd appearance.
Jordan Walden now doing the closing for the Angels, and Danny Valencia will lead off the 8th. And Valencia has reached 3 times, twice with singles. Ball 1. And Rodney's had some major control issues this year. Twins would love to answer with a run here and get perhaps Matt Capps. We say perhaps because he's had some health issues, and or Joe Nathan a chance to save a ball game here in the 9th. 2-0 to Valencia. 3-0 with Butera on deck. Remember, of course, the Twins took Jim Thome out of the ball game in the 7th inning. So the lineup is not what it was at the start of the game. And we've seen so many times this year with Ron Gardenhire insecure about his ability to win games in extra innings, kind of rolling the dice and trying to win them in 9. 3-0 to Valencia, and that's ball 4. So Rodney's problems continue, and you've already seen why he's not the closer with the Angels anymore.
Yeah, he signed that big contract with them last year. Last year had only 14 saves after saving 37 with the Tigers in 2009.
Butera was in this spot after Valencia reached on an error leading off the 5th, and we thought, given the circumstances, might be asked to bunt. Here in the 8th, it would be pretty much a sure thing, I would think.
Let's see if he takes a pitch first, squares around, and takes a ball.
I mean, there's no any element of surprise here. You've got Callasmo at 3rd and Trumbo at 1st, both charging.
Yeah, you want to bunt the ball toward first base. Trumbo, a big guy, but a right-handed thrower. It would be a little bit harder for him to throw that ball to second base. Just like that.
And a nice one. Trumbo flips, and the sacrifice successful with Valencia moving to second.
Oh, good bunt right there, because Callasmo, the third baseman, if he feels if you bunt to third, he's going to get the force out at second base. So a very nice bunt by Drew Butera, advancing Valencia over to second.
Something to feel good about in the Twins dugout as they try to retake the lead.
See him square around, and almost you said, okay, I'm going to take it with me down that first baseline. And Trumbo comes in, but has only one play.
We saw a couple games ago Danny Valencia with the charging infielders drop the bunt the other way, and the sacrifice didn't work. Rodney leaves, and the go-ahead runs at second. Well, I think it's safe to say that Denard Span could deliver one of the biggest hits of this season for the Twins if he can get Danny Valencia in. The problem is the guy on the mound has been absolutely lights out against the Twins.
Yeah, 21 career appearances for Scott Downs. He has not allowed an earned run to the Twins in 22 2/3 innings.
Now we got a way though to make this work, to make everybody happy. The guy at second base isn't Downs' run.
Good point.
Span gets a hit. Twins get the lead. Downs still hasn't given up a run to the Twins.
Well, Downs in his first season with the Angels, coming over from the Toronto Blue Jays, where he pitched 6 years for the Blue Jays.
Span takes a fastball and strike one. Years ago, the Angels closer Troy Percival had a similar and longer streak against the Twins. Didn't have a earned run against Percival in 35, 36 innings, something like that. One strike to Span. And low, 1-1. Then in the 9th inning, the Twins had a crazy play. Shannon Stewart ended up breaking Benji Molina's wrist on a collision at the plate. They got an earned run and an unearned run and beat Percival and broke the ice. Sliced foul, 1-2. Span has scored a couple of runs. He'd like to drive one in here.
Outfield playing very shallow. Abreu in left field, Borges in center, and Torrey Hunter in right.
One and two to Denard Span. Very close pitch. Wow. Didn't miss by much. 2-2.
See what the Fox track says on his fastball.
2-2. To left center field, Borges chasing it down, and Valencia playing it halfway retreats to second.
Boy, the speed right there. Again, Borges in the outfield playing pretty shallow. He got a great jump and utilized that speed.
And Valencia did the right thing. He's got to be in position to score if that ball lands safely. Not much of an opportunity for Valencia to tag.
Borges just ran that ball down.
2 down, and it has been Casillas' night so far, both at the plate and in the field. He's reached 4 times, 3 extra base hits and a walk, made a fine play to finally end the top of this inning. I'm trying to get a big hit. Matt Capps in the Twins bullpen warming up, hoping to have a lead to protect. Strike one to Casilla. Otherwise, we assume Hoey will go out, although this is one of those situations where, if not a safe situation in the ninth, Twins would no longer have one. 1 strike to Casilla. Just off the plate, 1-1. DeMuro's had a strike zone the shape of the state of Missouri tonight. One and one to Casilla. Two and one. Kubel hoping for a chance here. Twins trying to take advantage of Rodney's leadoff walk here in the 8th. Popped up, should end the inning. Borges comes in. And they almost bobble it, and Hunter ended up picking it off. Borges and Hunter nearly made a terrible mistake in short right center field. We'll go to the 9th, tied at 5. Stay tuned for the Gander Mountain weekend weather update for Twins territory. Nearly took the lead in the bottom of the 8th when Borges and Hunter nearly made one of the biggest blunders of the season.
All right, how many times do you write in your scorebook fly ball to 989? Looked like Torrey Hunter got a little bit of it right into Borges' glove that pops out, and then Torrey Hunter got it back in his glove.
Well, we go to the 9th inning, and Jim Hoey, with the Twins not having the lead, will hope to pitch a clean 9th inning. Now, Borges is the guy who started the 5-run 8th with an infield hit. And the Angels ended up sending 9 men to the plate. But the only good thing that happened is Hoey retired the last 3 batters he faced: Branyan, Trumbo, and Conger. Borges will lead off the 9th, and then Izturis and Ibar. Ball 1. And Hoey threw 19 pitches, 14 strikes, so that was not the issue for him, walking people or falling behind hitters. He just couldn't get a strikeout in some key at bats when he was looking for them. There's a strike, 1-1. We've seen Borges' speed significantly impact this game, and never more so than his leadoff single in the 8th inning. Popped up and out of play.
But you know, back in the 8th inning, Justin kind of, knocked that ball down, had a lot of spin on it, but Alex Burnett got over there very late, and that's allowed Borges to beat him actually to the bat.
And then Burnett compounded matters by walking Izturis. He was taken out of the game. Dusty Hughes threw 1 pitch to Ibar, and the Angels jumped right back into it with a 3-run homer. 1-2. Borges drives it to deep left center field. And Borges flies to second, on his way to third. He's heading there, and he is in there safely with a triple to lead off the 9th inning.
Well, when he hits a ball Watch around the bases. If you're an Angel fan, if you're the opponent, no. Borges with his 6th triple of the year.
That looked to be that
splitter.
Yeah.
Dropped the barrel of the bat, got it past Delman Young. Delman getting it back in quickly, hitting the cutoff man. And in the short hop, strong throw by Casilla, but Borges slides in safely.
Infield in, Izturis at the plate. And a pitch up and away, ball 1. Now, Izturis, the leadoff man, and you think, well, he's a good bunter. He does not have a sacrifice bunt this year, but the Twins have to be alert to the squeeze play. Wouldn't take much at all to get Borges in from third. And it'll take a base hit. And the Angels take a 6-5 lead. And the fans upset, and you cannot blame them.
Well, you talked about his speed. Watch his speed right here, Dick. I mean, right out of the box. And long strides of Peter Borges. He hit second base, and he wanted third, and he got it.
So Hoey giving up a couple of hits to start the 9th inning. And Dumatre will pitch next. Took the game over.
Well, first of all, taking maybe a home run away from Jim Thome. His speed just caught up to this high fly ball and makes a great catch. That coming in the 6th inning. Borges going up high, and sure looks like that ball would have hit the top of the fence and bounced over. And then he started the 5-run 8th inning with an infield base hit, and then we just saw him get the triple and scored.
Standing next to Vernon Wells, who's on the disabled list. So Hoey came into the game, gave up a double and a single. The sacrifice fly that tied the game got the next 2 guys. And you know, this is just another one of those games where the Twins had it in hand and it slipped away in the last couple innings. Dumatre, still nobody out here in the 9th, will face Eric Ibar. The Twins turning him around right-handed. We thought that was a smart thing to do in the 8th. And Ibar jumped on the first pitch from Dusty Hughes and hit it 400 feet. You know, if you're the manager and there's a bunt foul, you play the percentages. It made all the sense in the world to do what the Twins did. But Hughes threw a belt high right down the middle of the plate, and Ibar was waiting for him.
Well, you don't anticipate that as a manager.
No.
Ibar scoring around the bunt his first time. He has 5 sacrifices on the year. He's scoring around early.
A foul ball caught by Butera. 2 strikes. Jose Majares might rejoin the club on Monday in Detroit. That's the hope. Morneau tracking a foul pop, making the catch. First out of the 9th inning. That's the out the Twins were hoping to get in the Ibar at bat in the 8th inning. Here's Abreu. Abreu with a single in the 5-run 8th. Also a single back in the 1st inning. Strike on the outside corner.
Rio did not like that call, having some words with home plate umpire.
Well, it's been a very erratic strike zone. Small sample size for Dumatre. He was the closer for Rochester. And up here, other than the walks, giving up just 1 hit, 3 1/3 innings. This will be 1. And that's it. Abreu gotten a lot thicker over the years with his legs, but he can still use them and run pretty well. 2 away. Abreu grimacing. Did that after he got his base hit earlier, wasn't he? With holding that hand, you wonder.
Well, that looked like it was right off the end of the bat. So it's like the left hand. You know, when you call a strike 3 or 4 inches off the plate and then you throw the breaking ball like Dumatre did right there, Abreu kind of protecting the plate. Let's take a look right here. Maybe right off the end of the bat. Yep. That'll sting a little bit.
Again, his top hand coming off the bat, like maybe he's feeling something in there. Strike on the outside corner, and it's 1-1.
Good changeup right there. Good location.
Well, as the Twins try to fight their way out of this bullpen situation. Powering pop-up. Looks like Dumatre might get the Twins out of this inning. And Casilla with the catch ends it. A go-ahead run for the Angels after the leadoff triple by Borges, and it's 6-5. game reset with the Twins scoring the first 5 runs. They took a 5-0 lead to the 8th inning, but now it's the Angels leading 6-5. And we'll get our first look at Jordan Walden closing out games for the Angels. 10 for 13 in that category, and the Twins will have the 3, 4, 5 hitters up.
Yeah, here's a guy that mainly in the minor leagues when he first signed with the Angels was a starter in the minor league system. And now Walden looking for his 11th save and 14 save opportunities. Pretty good fastball in the mid-90s, a slider and a changeup. Came up last year at the end of the year and picked up his first major league save in 16 appearances.
You just see Ron Gardenhire in the dugout with an apparent limp. That's why Rick Anderson's gone to the mound to make pitching changes. It might be the Achilles tendon that's bothering him. Here's Jason Kubel. He's driven in 3 of the 5 runs with a pair of singles. He's also grounded out and struck out.
That fastball clocked here at 100 miles an hour.
Fouled back at 98. 1-1.
Walden, just 23 years old, signed by the Angels back in 2006. Mansfield, Texas.
Did you say that he made his debut against the Twins here last year?
No.
Okay.
He picked up a save last year in 16 appearances.
Made his debut here at Target Field against the Twins. 2-1. 3-1. So he's missed at 99 and 100. Morneau on deck. High fly to left center. Willits is out there now for Abreu, and he gets to the edge of the track and catches it 1 away. And that'll bring up Morneau. Morneau's hit the ball hard his last 2 times up, sinking sharply to right field each time. His most recent single was a hard liner off the fence in right. An interesting matchup because one of the challenges for Justin in the first 2 months of the season has been catching up to a good live fastball. And he will see one here. In his MVP season of 1996, remember he turned around Joel Zamaya's letter high 99 mile per hour fastball. And I think that's one thing we've seen this year. It's a breaking pitch there, 0-2.
Well, you guess fastball, then he drops that slider on you.
Two strikes to Morneau. At 100 miles per hour, Morneau's gone on 3 pitches. And that'll leave it to Kadire. Trevor Plouffe entered the game as a pinch runner for Jim Thome in the 7th inning. So if Kadire keeps the game alive, Plouffe would be the next scheduled hitter. 100 miles per hour on the outside corner. One and one. Breaking pitch. Might have hung it a little bit, but Kadire swung through it. 1-2.
A hard slider right there at 84.
Punch to right, and the game's still alive.
And Michael Kadire gets his 1,000th Major League hit. All of them in a Twins uniform, passing Bob Allison.
He'll get the baseball. First base umpire Jim Reynolds has asked for the ball. Congratulations to Michael Cuddyer. It's a lot of hits.
A lot of hits. 1,000.
So now Trevor Plouffe hitting for Thome, or in Thome's spot. He entered the game as a pinch runner. Ball one. The Twins team that right now is 5-13 at home.
Mike Butcher, the pitching coach, going out.
Plouffe, who's been on the bench watching for a couple of games after being tentative in the field, has shown some power. Plouffe on the season, 3 home runs, 10 runs batted in. We have not seen him, however, turn around this type of heat. 1-0. Mainly because we haven't seen this type of heat.
Don't see this too often.
1-1. You look at it and you wonder whether our screen can go higher than 100 miles per hour. Some of them seem faster than the early one clocked at 100. 2-1. That's a bouncer up the line. That might work out fine. Infield hit. Cuddyer to second. Tying run is at second. The winning run at first for Delmon Young.
Oh, a swinging bunt right there by Trevor Plouffe. Iasco playing back. He has to come in and has only one play, and that's to attempt to barehand it, which he does. But Plouffe beating it out.
So Young will hit with Cuddyer at second, Plouffe at first, and 2 away. Young 0 for 4. And he hung him a breaking pitch, and Delmon fouled it back.
Rally hats are on. Come on, Delmon Young.
2 strikes.
Pitcher's pitch right here. At
99. 2 strikes to Delmon Young. And a block by Conger. At least the 5th or 6th time with men on base that he's made a perfect block. He doesn't catch them, he just blocks them and they roll in front of home plate. One and 2. And Young lays off that breaking pitch again. Cuddyer with a good lead at second. His single kept the game alive. 3-2 with Valencia on deck.
Oh, another fastball, but just low.
Full count. Now the runners can take off early. Fouled away. We've seen a game and a lead slip away. Now trying to steal one in the bottom of the ninth. 3-2 to Young. High fly to center. And both Borges and Hunter want it. Hunter catches it. And another deflating loss for the Minnesota Twins. Anthony, the Twins had this game in hand. We've said this before many times. But the bullpen failures cost them a win.
It's now 11 losses in their last 12 here at Target Field. We'll break down how the bullpen let this one get away. We'll show you how Scott Baker pitched well through 7 and hear from Ron Gardenhire. All next on Quest Twins Live.